Decline to pay me after I help you pass your exam? Well, have fun getting deported. So this happened a couple years ago during COVID when everything was online. A mutual friend, let's call him D, reached out to me absolutely desperate. He was on the verge of getting deported because he had already failed his coding exam twice. One more failure and he wouldn't be able to stay in the country. He knew I was good at coding and begged me to take the exam for him. He told me how his entire future depended on it, how he had no options left, and so on. Feeling a little bit sorry for him, I agreed, on the condition he would pay me $500 for doing so. He agreed immediately, so I spent a couple weeks preparing. The exam was proctored over Zoom, and we set it up so I could control his computer remotely while he pretended to take the exam himself. We pulled it off without a hitch, and he passed the exam. Afterwards, we went out for drinks to celebrate. Each paid their own because I didn't want him deducting anything from what he owed me. Here's where things went downhill. He gave me $100 up front and promised to pay the remaining $400 in a couple of weeks after he sorted out his graduation stuff. Weeks turned into months, and he kept dodging me with excuses. After 6 months of this, it became clear he wasn't going to pay me back. I gave him multiple warnings to pay me or I'll report him, but he kept taking it not seriously and blocked me. I was pissed. I helped him out, and he completely ghosted me after getting what he wanted, so I decided to take matters into my own hands. Firstly, I reported him to his university for academic misconduct. I explained in detail how I was the one who took his exam for him, and provided evidence to back it up. They investigated and failed him retroactively, which meant he couldn't graduate. Since his visa was tied to his student status, this basically screwed him over completely. Some context. It was an anonymous tip off to the college with a fake email with all the proof. They called him and gave him the chance to retake the exam on the spot, but that guy never studied and failed at the most basic stuff. But no, it didn't end there. He was still living in the country illegally, hoping to somehow fix things. I knew he had no way out, so I anonymously tipped off the authorities, saying there was an illegal immigrant involved in suspicious activity living in my area. They came, found out he was living there illegally, and he got deported. Context. As for deport, I felt a bit scared, in case he tried to hurt me in some way, so I made sure he never set foot in there again.